Welcome to Best Kept Secrets Travel, episode 21. My name's Morgan.
And my name's Will, and on today's episode, we're going to be talking all about the best places to travel in June.
Fantastic.
Let's roll the intro.
Best friends, and that's for life. Who stay traveling? I'm talking worldwide. 65 countries between the two. Every moment is so unbelievable. Sharing the best kept secrets about the trips and mistakes they made that they can't forget. So tell me if you're ready for a time to remember as they gear up for the next adventure. Yeah. Woo! Best kept secrets travel.
Morgan, it's time to celebrate.
Why is it time to celebrate, Will?
This is technically our 50th ever episode of the podcast combined, if you count our trailers, intros, and all the episodes from season 1 and season 2.
And not
High five.
High five. That is fantastic. I'm shocked that we got this far.
And now we're superstars.
We're famous. Everyone knows we got a
production
beautiful
team,
set with stars behind us. We've got a lot live audience. We've had a live audience. We've definitely got a live audience now.
Live audience, 300 people.
A few flies and stuff.
300 people, sorry, just in the front row.
Yeah. So it's a lot. It's like we're actually in an amphitheatre, which is why we can see the stars and everything. The brick's just real brick that we put in the background. I would very much like to go back and actually rewatch some of our original pre-season 1 episodes where we were just practicing.
Oh, it was rubbish. It was agony. That was painful.
It was painful. But it was also hilarious and quite funny.
Hilarious is a kind word to describe it, I think.
But 50, we haven't quite got there, but 50 means that we've nearly done a year of this.
We're coming up to it.
Yeah.
We're coming up to it, yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
Crazy how time flies when you're not having fun. Well, we started travelling again as well, out of COVID.
That's true. What you can't see is outside of the screen, someone just has forcing us to do this.
Yeah, this is actually just an interrogation.
Yeah,
we're being held captive by the travel gods.
Yeah, we've both been abroad we've both been abroad this year, which is exciting. We're also have planned. All we've got to is we've done people, and we've planned the dates, kind of the weekend. But we're doing a trip this year, at least one.
Apparently,
you've got it in your diary.
Yeah, I've got a weekend in my diary currently.
Yeah, it's going to be like 2 to 5 days.
Maybe. We'll see.
We'll work it out. I would quite like to plan that though, because that I won't be planning like a few weeks before, because that'll be the build up to my exams. So I'd actually like to just book the flights.
No, I think we do something last minute.
Like really last minute.
Yeah. And we take it out all in cash.
See, I was actually thinking like Malawi.
Yeah, actually.
I was looking at that. I was looking at Mauritania.
I was going to say we just set a budget and we just go, right. That's it.
So this was one of the other points in planning, is working out the purpose of the trip.
I thought we were doing like a Barcelona 2.0 style thing.
Well, we haven't.
Dirt cheap.
I do want to do a weekend and organise a weekend at some point with teachers. Yeah.
Yeah, we could do.
I'm fully organised that. I've spoken to people and so far, and their only request is not near certain parts of Eastern Europe.
Really?
For safety reasons. That's their only request, and they actually wanted to get planning, and I was like, okay, fine. But yeah.
So North Korea.
It's not near Eastern Europe.
Exactly.
It's on my bucket list.
There are equally bad places I could start suggesting. Anyway, let's get on with the episode.
Right, Libya.
Best places to travel in June. Starting off, Morgan, we have Croatia.
Fantastic.
Have you been to Croatia?
No, I haven't. I've tried 3 or 4 times and COVID stopped it. It's been one of those places, and people organising things stopped it. So I very nearly messed up on the first word. I almost said it as one word.
Did you?
Just in case it was one. So June is one of the best months to visit Dubrovnik. All hotels, restaurants and attractions are open, and the weather is much better. However, weather-wise, it's still better to visit at the end of June rather than the beginning, because it gets warmer the closer you get to, summer. The weather is much more stable as it gets later, although going at the beginning of June may mean you get much cheaper prices. A good idea is to rent a car and visit the surrounding cities, especially the Pelshak Peninsula and Korčula Island. You can also go horseback riding or wine tasting in the nearby Konvala. You can also, if you have a better pronunciation, please do tell me, seeing as you've been there. You can also consider taking a coach tour to Mostar. I would love to visit Mostar.
Would you?
Yeah, it's Bosnia.
Yeah, well, I've driven through it.
And there's really cool, you can do like a bridge jump.
So I drove through Bosnia to get down to Dubrovnik.
Okay. What, did you fly to
Flew into Split, and then from Split you take a bus down and you go through, and then you have to go to...
Oh, it actually goes through Mostar.
Because Bosnia hits the coast and then Dubrovnik's below it.
Yeah. Okay.
So Croatia's sort of split in that sense. So
Split.
Yeah.
You didn't even mean that. Yes, he didn't mean a joke.
And because it's the Dalmatian coast, it's
spotted
or dotted around the place. Yeah. So you go. So I went through Bosnia. I bought an ice cream in Bosnia and a Coke.
Oh, fantastic!
But the other thing that you can do during June is you could go into Split, as I just mentioned, and there are lots of tours you can do. You can go and get boat trips out to the likes of Hvar or Brač, which are super, super popular and become busier every year. There are meditation and yoga islands you can do big retreats on. From Split, you could also get bus trips out to the likes of the Plitvice lakes and waterfalls, which you can swim in, and also the Krka National Park, Krka. Both of them have lakes and beautiful scenery. One of them you can swim in, and the other one has really big walkways. And I believe it was the Krka National Park is around 2 hours away from Split, and the Plitvice lakes are around 6 hours away.
Okay.
But you can do them both in a day trip. It's just quite a long day trip.
Yeah, isn't the Plitvice lakes, is that near...
It's closer to Zagreb.
Zagreb, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, which is the capital of Croatia for anyone.
Because that's what I was looking at seeing when I was going to Zagreb.
Yeah.
I've thought of multiple trips from going to Dubrovnik and doing stuff around there, and Zagreb are the two sort of main.
Dubrovnik's amazing as well, and a best kept secret / not so much a secret anymore because it's super popular, but a lot of people seem to miss out on it. Is there's a bar on the outside of the old town walls.
Is it metal?
Drinking bar on the outside of the city walls, which you access through a small alleyway, and then you're just overlooking the ocean.
Oh wow!
You can have a drink there, and I think you can get in the water there.
Ooh!
But that's a good secret. You've got one of the oldest hospitals, well, not hospitals, one of the oldest pharmacies in the whole of Europe there, which still have bullet holes from some of the wars.
Wow.
Lots of Game of Thrones filmed around there, so you can go on Google and type in...
Game of Thrones is real.
Yes. Beer's generally cheap. Seafood's cheap and fresh.
Weather's nice.
An all-round... Yeah, I think it's an all-round great country.
It's quite a good place for backpacking, I think.
Yeah, and you can kayak out around the city walls of Dubrovnik as well.
And I don't know when it is, but there's Yacht Week.
There's also the Festival of Light, where they have lots of ballet and stuff near Split. Outdoor ballet I've seen when I've been at Split. There's a lot going on.
Ballet splits.
Oh dear, Morgan. Oh dear me. Moving on.
So, point number 2.
Number 2, Albania.
Ooh.
Have you ever been to Albania?
Yes, I have.
Where have you been in Albania?
I've only, unfortunately,
And did you go in June?
I think I went in... I actually think I did go in June.
You think?
I think I did go in June, but I was almost unfortunate. It might not be unfortunate to some.
Yeah.
That there happened to be a heat wave, and it was over 40 degrees every day.
That's
that
a bit
I was
much.
there. It was a bit much. But Albania is known as being the adventure capital, or Tirana. Albania is the adventure capital of Europe.
Really?
Yeah.
How?
Why? There is so much to do there. They love it.
What, more than somewhere in the Alps?
I think it's more...
what about use Chamonix or...
I don't know what Chamonix is.
I just don't see why is it the adventure capital.
I have no idea. No, I think it's just the general, the wide variety that they have of different activities and different landscapes that they have. Because they do have lots of mountains, but then they also have all the stuff by the sea as well. And I think it's the mix of everything that just makes it the...
And I guess it's still...
And it's
it hasn't really been westernised yet.
No.
So it's still quite more out there.
Yeah, exactly. One of the hikes that I'd love to do is Theft of Albona. So that is a really good hike to do. And they also have lots of different... They have something like over 40,000... I don't think I wrote it. Over 40,000 bunkers dotted around the country, and you can do tours exploring a load of them. They've got lots of old wartime stuff. They used to be very communist.
But they had the bunkers because they thought there was going to be nuclear fallout.
No, they had the bunkers to attack. They were attack bunkers.
Oh, okay. So they weren't nuclear bunkers. They were...
Some of them are.
War bunkers.
They have huge nuclear bunkers. The biggest bunker that I've ever been in was in Albania, and it was like...
Have you been in a lot of bunkers?
I've been in quite a few. But it was just huge, and it was in a mountain, and it was one of those ones.
How huge are we talking?
Have thousands of rooms. Like
really,
it was meant
like
to be
a city in the
it was meant to be for the whole government and the president.
Oh, really? Was
stuff.
like a little city.
It was huge, and it's now a museum, and that's called Bunkart 1, and then in the city there's Bunkart 2, which is a little smaller version of it, and you can get the cable carts up to it that have a really pretty view as well. But they used to be a very communist country, so there's lots of history of that. So they used
Are they
to.
Still?
No. But we went on the walking tour, and our guide was talking about how his dad used to call everything. What do you? I guessed it. He said, "What do you think after the communism fell? Who do you think's the first corporation to come in to Albania?"
United Nations?
No, corporation.
Oh, company. Coca-Cola.
Yep.
Was it?
They were the first to come in. So the two things that came in first were
That just doesn't surprise me.
No, Coca-Cola and bananas were the two sort of main things that came in, and they were just all shocked because obviously during communism they wouldn't import any exotic fruit, so they've never had things like bananas.
Didn't they try and make a knockoff equivalent of Coke?
Yeah, they did. We've definitely spoken about that in one of our episodes at one point. But they did all this, and the dad used to always call it. He'd just say to his son, "Can I have a Coke?" meaning a banana or a Kit Kat, because he just got confused, and Coke was the first thing that came in. So everything new that wasn't communist was just Coke. Can I have a Diet Coke? And he just meant a banana, and the bloke the guy had to realise, right, he actually wants a banana here. But it was quite a cool place.
Well, June is a really lovely time to go to Albania.
I'd agree.
Days are generally sunny, the weather's mild, the crowds are still small, the weather's beautiful along the coastal areas, making it an ideal time to check out some of the best places to visit in Albania along the beautiful Albanian Riviera. While the weather is not as hot as in... Whilst the weather is not quite as hot inland, it is still very pleasant. It's a great time in particular to visit Bharat. Did you go there?
No. This was a bit of a misadventurous trip that I was meant to go from Thessaloniki through North Macedonia into Albania, and then I couldn't get into North Macedonia, which I will talk about.
Well, you messed up that because Bharat is one of the most beautiful towns in the country, and it's declared by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site because of its beauty and uniqueness. Bharat's a must-see destination for travellers. It's not only located near Tirana, perhaps within a day trip, but it's also one of the finest examples of prideful Albanian architecture in the across the whole country. It's just perfect. Prepare to walk between two main districts of the town, Mangalan and Gorica, and explore the castle strategically located on top of a hill so they can rain arrows upon those pathetic attackers.
That sounds fantastic and effective.
But if you go, you need to prepare for gorgeous views over the city, Morgan, because
they were gorgeous.
Gorgeous views as you watch the sunset, as its shoulders. We'll just...
Yeah.
Albania sounds pretty nice, to be honest.
Albania was pretty
It's slightly out there. I don't think it's a first choice of anyone to go.
No, and I think it should be much higher up on people's bucket list.
Did you feel safe?
Yes. Yes, and I met some solo female travellers there, and they said that they felt okay in their experience. They'd been there a few days, which is more than I had.
Yeah.
And they said they felt fine at the time.
Fine at the time?
Well, they were staying for longer, and I didn't ask them again after. But yeah, Albania is definitely somewhere that I think you should put higher up on your bucket list, and it's slightly off the beaten track. And I knew very few people who'd been before I went. And I really want to go back.
If Albania is high up on your bucket list, how about Slovenia?
Slovenia is extremely high up on my bucket list.
So you haven't been?
No.
Neither have I. I really want to go to Slovenia for fishing. One of the most pristine fly fishing countries in the world.
What, in the big lake? Do I have mentioned?
No, there's
in Lake Bled.
Unbelievable rivers.
Oh, the rivers.
Yeah, so Lake Bled you can carp fish, and they've carp rumoured up to £60 in there.
Oh.
In weight. Yeah, they're big carp.
Wouldn't it be euros? That one was better.
That was awful.
That one was better. Come on.
Because I did say in weight before you came out with that joke. You could have been quicker with it. Slow moving.
I was deciding whether I was doing it. That's
Once again, funnily enough, on the basis of this episode, Slovenia is also amazing to visit in June.
What?
What a shock horror. If you want to avoid crowds entirely, go in June. The weather from March to June can be somewhat slightly unpredictable, and early spring can be especially rainy. But by June, the weather's mild, perfect for outdoor activities such as hiking, cycling, kayaking, fishing, and whatever you want to do. Or you can just go and eat lovely food in restaurants. The Julian Alps start to creep over above zero in spring too.
Oh, fantastic.
Which is slightly nice.
Newman actually recommended Slovenia to both of us at one point, yeah.
Nights can still get to around -1 in June though. So it can get slightly nippy, but that's more if you're near the Alps.
Nips.
The snowmelt makes whitewater rafting an unbelievably good option at this time.
Yeah.
Because of the great amount of water pushing through the rivers. Or find a bit of peace and quiet on some of the hiking trails or in the rivers whilst you go fishing. Ride a bike through majestic green valleys with wildflowers in full bloom, or wander around the streets of Ljubljana. Many of the attractions closed for winter will have been opened up by late spring, such as the caves beneath the much-seen Predjama Castle. But prices won't go up until mid-June.
Exciting.
Early to mid-June.
Early to mid-June is the best time, probably. And if this hasn't, and it has me, if it hasn't really excited you about Slovenia, make sure that you follow us on all podcasts, or at least one podcast platform, on Best Kept Secrets Travel, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anything like that. or follow us on YouTube under the same name, or TikTok now, because we do TikTok, because next week we've got part 1 of a deep dive into Slovenia. So you'll learn a lot more about the different things you can do, the language, the foods and drinks that you should try, all next week. Don't forget to follow.
Where's number 4, Morgan? What's our 4th country on our list of 5?
I'm going to say this with an English accent. Jamaica. Jamaica's our 4th. The months from May to October offer a chance to enjoy the island's best festivals, as well as the heat and humidity of the rainy season. That said, the rains are usually limited to short bursts in the afternoon and followed by ample sunshine, making an excellent option if you enjoy the heat and don't mind the occasional downpour, which, when I was in Vietnam in rainy season, I really didn't mind. It was hot and then it would be pouring down.
Yeah.
Like you've never seen it before. Like sometimes you get water up to like halfway up your shins and then suddenly it'll stop and it'll be the best day ever. And as if nothing's happened. It was crazy fun.
Crazy.
Fun. This also makes June one of the cheapest times to visit Jamaica, with huge discounts on accommodation, up to 60%. Some of the events you can visit in May include Style Week, car racing and Dover Raceway, the Manchester Horticultural Show, and the Observer Food Awards. So May/June is a very good time to go. Jamaica is one of those countries that, due to its climate, is very good to visit all year round. Awesome. That sounds like a lot of fun.
I do, yeah. I recommend going out on a boat, doing some sunset catamaran trips, nice glass of wine. Fun. You go back on the island, try and visit some of the festivals, the food and drink festivals. Rum, deep fried flying fish is also super tasty. They've got good food culture over there. I do. Yeah,
they've got good culture in general.
Yeah,
music, food, everything. I don't know what you mean. What are you talking about?
I don't do it, but when I've been over that way, I get offered it everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Devil's lettuce.
Devil's lettuce.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't eat salad.
I haven't actually been to Jamaica. I've been to basically every other Caribbean island. I've been to Bahamas, Caribbean, Barbados.
St. Lucia.
No, Ed has.
Antigua.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to remember this off Wordle.
Number 5 is somewhere we've spoken about a lot in our episodes.
Where?
It's the place
the amphitheatre.
Every gap year student.
Gap year.
Plan to go on the gap year.
I mean,
they know it as Bali. Who? We know it as Indonesia.
As Jakarta.
Indonesia is not Bali. Bali's in Indonesia. But Indonesia is a country, so you're going to Indonesia, but you might be visiting Bali within Indonesia. Indonesia is...
Can you explain that again?
Stunning. In June, the sun is shining, the rain is minimal, you beat the crowds travelling over from the school holidays and gap years. You may also be able to take advantage of some of the shoulder season promotions. The weather's perfect for island hopping.
Got big shoulders.
Snorkeling. Relaxing on the beach, having a cheeky massage, having a cocktail. You'll get clear days, but islands won't be as crowded or expensive as during peak season in July and August, nor as hot or humid.
Ooh.
So it's ideal for long hikes and cycle
Idyllic.
rides. The dry season is excellent for driving. The dry season is excellent for diving and surfing. Though the best time to travel to Indonesia depends on which part of the archipelago you're visiting. The prime months for diving off the coast of Bali, Lombok, Komodo National Park are April to September, whilst the optimum conditions for diving around Maluku and Papua are October to April. Indonesia is where I first learnt to scuba dive.
Oh, and
got my open water paddy.
Oh, and where, if people wanted to learn more information about Indonesia, should they watch it?
On Best Kept Secrets Travel Podcast.
On Best Kept Secrets Travel Podcast. And what episode was it?
Episode 9, Season 1.
Sorry. Can everyone just
genius right here. I know all of our episodes because this is the 50th episode of the day.
50th episode of the day. Wow.
Of our podcast.
Wow. We've just moved from different sets, different clothes, different hairstyles.
This is our 50th episode.
It's been a long day.
Yeah, we really backlog all of our podcasts.
Yeah. 1 year. I'm very interested now to see how many hours of podcasts we have.
Too much. If you look at the unedited stuff, terrifying. Yeah. With some of the older podcasts, I was trimming down 2.5 hours, 3 hours.
But now it's pretty raw. Now the way we do it, it's
raw.
Yeah, we don't really edit like much at all. Roar, like my belly just then. We don't really edit much of the podcast now. We've got
try and keep the flow going.
Yeah, we've got the flow. We've got quite a casual vibe now.
That's what the key apparently to going TikTok, according to our TikTok manager.
According to our TikTok account manager, it's vibes is key.
Yeah, that's what we need in life.
I hate that word.
Vibes.
Yeah.
Positive vibes only.
It doesn't have to be positive. It could be retro vibes. That's not what we're going
retro
for.
Vibes only.
But there are different types of vibes.
Are there?
Apparently so.
Apparently.
We've got to ask the TikTok manager.
TikTok manager. What kind of vibe? That's what we need to know. What is our vibe for this episode? So out of the 5 countries, you can't pick Albania because you've been before.
I was just about to... Okay. Out of the 5 countries...
Minus Albania. So we've got 4 countries picked from. Which one would you go to if you were going for a week in June? Go.
A week, Indonesia. Easy.
Easy? Why? Because you need to find yourself in Bali.
Because I need to find myself,
You do a week for Indonesia.
Well, you offered me a week.
Yeah, I'm just saying what... I don't know if a week's enough.
You offered me a week. It's probably not, but you offered me a week.
You'd be losing 2 days almost to travel.
Yeah.
So you'd only really have 5 days.
Yeah.
You wouldn't do Slovenia or something for a week.
I would.
But
I'd put Indonesia above it. But I haven't been to Indonesia and I do really want to go.
Yeah.
I also do want to go to Slovenia.
Jamaica time-wise on the flights works.
Jamaica, yeah.
You can do a good flight time for that.
Yeah, so for me it'd be Indonesia. What would yours?
Right now, I'd love just to be sat on a beach with barbecue restaurants and fresh fish and everything. Jamaica would be
I thought you were going to say Slovenia.
Yeah, I really want to go to Slovenia, but Jamaica
when you talk about the fishing.
Yeah, but just I want to be on a beach right now, right this second.
Well, that was 2 weeks ago.
Because it's Jamaican me crazy. Well, that's a great place to end this podcast. Is on Morgan being silenced.
Roll the outro.
Yeah, let's make it happen. I hope that you can handle going on adventures, best kept secret travels. Yeah, all over the globe, having fun, you know the deal. Amazing secret locations, hang out with Morgan and Will. Educate and entertain, haggle in the market, sharing their experiences. Time to get it started. Let's go.